It's cocktail hour, so pour it up. Pour it up.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Zeta Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Come on in. Get your cannabis, get your coffee, get your vino, whatever your poison is, and bring your butt in here, okay? Today, I know I've been gone for a minute, but let's jump into the Diddy stuff, okay? Where it has to do with Kim Porter. We're not going to be talking about the trial. Everybody's talking about the trial. We know that there has been some people who have come to expose Diddy, aka Kid Cudi, who has been on trial, the actual security guard from the hotel, okay? He has also came and exposed Diddy, saying that Diddy allegedly was trying to bribe him for that tape. There has been so many things going on, but as I have been listening to the trial, I have been putting a lot of things together from what? The Kim Porter book. Okay, so everyone has been here to say that the Kim Porter book was frivolous, that it was lies, that it was deceit, that it wasn't telling the truth. But I am here to compare a lot of the stories that these women have been coming to the stand and detailing for the jury. Okay. One of the women who has exposed Diddy so far is Cassie. Shout out to Cassie. She has now given birth to a baby boy. So shout out to Cassie for that. And we now have another woman on the stand who goes as Mia. That is not her real name. Now, I have done some digging and I know who Mia is, okay? But we do not want to dox her. She has tested she is now on the trial anonymously because she doesn't want people to know her name. She doesn't want to be scrutinized in the media. You can feel however you want to feel about that, right? But let's get down to what they're saying and what has come out in the trial so far, okay? We know that in the trial so far, based on pictures, that Diddy had lots of baby oil, okay? But he also had safes, right? Where he kept X toys, where he kept dildos, where he kept stilettos, and we still don't know if those stilettos were for the women or for Diddy. Like, the jury's still out on that, right? But what I found interesting was there was a lot of similarities to the things that were found in the raid that Kim Porter spoke about in her book. Okay, so we are going to get into something that I feel like is very important, so stay tuned. But I thought, given everything that's going down with Diddy, that we would get into the book. And then you guys can tell me for yourself what you guys think. So we are going to read chapter 18, because I think chapter 18 speaks a lot about some of the things that Kim Porter found, or she said she found in Diddy's mansions, that made her come to the decision that, allegedly, of course, that she wanted to expose Diddy. Okay, so get your cannabis, get your coffee, get whatever. If you are watching me and you're like working, whatever, just get tight, get comfy, because I'm about to break it all down. Okay, so this is straight from Kim Porter's book. If you guys don't know, this book dropped in early September, right after Diddy got his house got raided and they took him into custody. This book dropped, okay? Shout out to Chris Todd. Shout out to all the people who had the balls enough to drop this book despite Diddy being a demon and being, probably suing them and everything. This book is telling a lot of what these women are telling on the stands, and people want to sit here and say it's not true. So let's dive into it, okay? Chapter 18, Sweet Goodbyes. Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. I ended up pregnant again. He wanted energy from that too. This would be my last X party. My body will never be ravaged by so many people again. Especially while I'm pregnant. What if something happened to the twins? After that, I wanted out. But when I tried dating someone else, they would end up dead from pneumonia. I knew Sean was behind it. It was not a coincidence. He gets jealous of any guy and they die of pneumonia. I could be next. If I'm going to get out of this alive, I'm going to have to do something to make him stay away from me. I had a plan, but it was dangerous. Sean has a vault where he keeps videotapes of all his conquests. I started sleeping with him again. After he falls asleep, he was starting to drink heavily at this point. I would get into the vault and get a couple of tapes, take them home, make copies, and swap them for the next set of tapes a few days later. It took weeks to get all of them copied, and he never knew I had them. This was my way out. Some of the tapes had things I would never have expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys like Usher, Little Bow Wow, and Justin Bieber, I would have never known. My God, is he grooming Quincy? This has to end. I invited him over one day to confront him and put an end to our on-again, off-again relationship. He had entered my home unannounced for the last time. He would no longer have the key after that. I was in the kitchen. Kimora and I were sharing drinks. I was scared to face him alone. Sean entered smiling. "What's up, Kimmy?" "Hey, Mora." I told Sean, "Sit down." Because of my tone, he looked at me stunned and asked, "What's going on? What is this?" I responded with delight, me taking my life back. "We're done." He answered, "Hold on a minute." I was so excited that I wasn't hearing any of it. I shouted at him, "No, no, no more. This is fucking over." He looked confused as he asked, "Where is all of this coming from?" With disgust, I said, "I got the footage, Sean." He looked even more confused as he inquired, "What are you talking about?" Kimora said with revulsion, "Usher too?" Sean said, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" Sean stood aggressively and Kimora responded, "Don't make me call the cops." Sean's anger was creeping in as he replied, "This is how it is?" I simply nodded. "If anything happens to either one of us, it gets released." He seethed as he queried, "All I've done for you?" I don't think I was ever so happy as when I said those words to him. "Get out." Pissed, he started to leave, looking back with pure hatred. As he walked down the stairs, he turned around in a fury and lunged at me. He knocked me down near to the top of the stairs. I was hurt. Kimora screamed, "Stop." As he began to crouch over me, I kicked at him, hitting him in the kneecap, then his face. He went tumbling down the stairs. He was too hurt to get up. I called the cops. Kimora left before they arrived. When he left, it was in an ambulance. I felt empowered. I felt safe. The Sean Combs days has finally came to an end. Okay. So that is chapter 18. And we're just going to do chapter 19 just because it's the last and final chapter and it's only a page so you guys can just get the full scope, okay? Again, for anybody just chiming in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am reading from Kim Porter's Lost Words, the book that everybody is saying is not true, but based on the evidence and everything that's coming out, it is proving to be true, okay? This woman is talking about finding tapes. What did we find out in this whole investigation? That Diddy had Cassie on tapes and he used those tapes to blackmail Cassie. Okay, allegedly. Let's move into chapter 19. Things were okay for a while. I started dating again. It was almost normal until I got serious with someone. Then my boyfriend died of pneumonia. I knew it was Sean again. That's when I decided to write this book. A few days ago, my home was burglarized. Only laptops were stolen. I know it was that bastard or his goons. Of course, I had a copy in the cloud that I was easily able to download here onto this new computer. As I continue to write now, I'll send this in the cloud as well. I'll send out copies via email and my Google Drive password will be attached so the missing chapters can be accessed. This book must get out. There are so many more chapters to add. This outline is a great start. I have to organize the rest of the chapters and add them in little by little. I planned on spending today working on exactly that, but I'm not feeling very well. Thank God the kids aren't here this weekend so I can rest. I called Kimura to cancel our tentative plans for a meetup. When I spoke to her, she said, "Girl, that doesn't sound like the flu. You want to go to the hospital?" That didn't immediately alarm me. I just needed some rest, I told her, and quickly got off the phone. But why can't I contact my doctor? Why won't he pick up the phone? Oh no, I called Sean from my bedroom where I'm laying in my bed. All I can think about was the kids, my babies, who are with this monster, the man that now I have suspected of doing this to me. Sean picked up with an air of superior, I can't say that word, guys. I'm messing up. Anyways, in his tone, that let me know it was too late for me. He spoke confidently into the phone. "Hello." I screamed at him. "You bastard. I have your fucking children. What are you talking about?" "The kids are with me," he replied with a mocking innocence. "There's literally nothing I can do. I can only ask, did you ever love me?" Instead of answering the question, he responded, "The most important thing to me in this world is loyalty." I couldn't believe it. I had to ask even though I understood. What the fuck does that mean? With the same innocence he mocked, "Kim, is there something wrong?" He's going to continue this game to the bitter end. I asked one last time, "How could you?" Again with the narcissism I had now come to despise, he responded, "How could I? Do what? I gave you everything. You went to someone else. You just left me like everyone else did. You asked how could I? How could I what?" I yelled. "Look what you did to everyone around you." There was only anger in his response. "So you're saying everyone leaves because of how I am? And you were going to expose me?" He had me burglarized. I knew it. I shouldn't have threatened him. I should have just published the book. I'm going to die, like Heavy D, like Biggie, like Pac, like so many others. And it's because he is a monster, plain and simple. Before hanging up, I simply said, "That's not the only one, you fuck." Then I shoot up a group text. I let everyone know. He's got me. Then I call 911. As I sit here waiting for the ambulance, I'm writing this chapter and praying that I make it to the hospital. I don't feel like writing anymore. I may not be around to see it print. It's okay. I'm sending it out. He won't get away with this. I will have my say, my final words. Sean Combs will get exposed, even if I lose my life doing it. My kids have always been my most cherished possessions. I want the world to know that. But most importantly, I want them to know ... And that is the end. Okay? So that is chapters 18 and 19 of this book. I want to say that all of this is alleged, right? We still don't even know if Kim Porter wrote this, but I say all that to say that it is my feelings and my thoughts that a lot of the information that was published in Kim's lost words is coming to light. Okay? We all heard the rumors of Diddy allegedly liking boys, okay? We've all heard the rumors of the Justin Biebers and the Ushers and everything. And I don't find it so coincidental that all of this stuff is popping up now. Okay. Now, there was something very interesting that just popped up that I also want to share that even just kind of like pushed me to read the last chapters of this book. In the end of chapter 18, when she realizes that she found young boys on the tape, it just wasn't girls, it just wasn't guys, it wasn't gay parties. When she realized that it was young boys, she quickly went to her son Quincy. Now, if you guys are like not understanding why, Quincy was the only one of his children that wasn't his child, okay?
I'll be sure he came out, and he had organ failure, and he was in a coma, and he actually came out accusing Puffy of being behind that. How you feel about that, and how you feel about his son Quincy still going to the trial supporting Puffy? even after, Albie Shore came out accusing Puffy of, putting him in a coma.
Like I said, man, like I got inside information that Quincy don't really support Puffy like that. And Quincy really supporting his sisters and his brothers. I heard Quincy, deep down, Quincy might not be saying, I heard Quincy deep down think Puffy did that to his mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's correct, but from the people I hear that it's cool with somebody that he's very, very close to, that's what it is. It's said as if Quincy just there to support his family. The same thing. And when I seen Misa say it, I was like, oh yeah, well, it's possible. She not there for Puffy. She there to support her son. You know what I'm saying? Do Quincy got kids? Why Quincy don't have no kids? Why he talk so sweet? Why was Puffy like little boys? Why was they so close? Why is he so close like that's his boyfriend instead of his daddy? It's just a lot of weird questions there. You know what I'm saying? A boy, nah, man. He's like he's protecting, more like he protecting his abuser. That's what Quincy give me. Quincy give me somebody that's in love with their abuser. No disrespect to him, but because if that's the case, then he was a victim at some point. But yeah, I think Quincy in love with Diddy. Like, not on no father shit. I just think he love him. He in love with him. I think because somebody been giving you sex since you was sucking your dick and all that shit. Like, if a woman's been sucking my dick since I was 11, 12 years old and spoiling me and nobody ever found out our secrets, I'm gonna love this woman. When she go to jail, I'll cry. Like, she's not my real mom, but I call her mom. Like, even though it's words out here that say she killed my father, killed my mom, still, it's because of love, bro. It's a different type of love. That's sex love. That's sexual. That's sexual love right there. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. That's a different type of love. Man. He seems like he hound type shit. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, he not thinking rational. Like, he not putting his mom first. He not even considering a chance. He not paying no attention, but now he is. But it seemed like he was just in love. Like, that's the vibe I was getting from him. Like, yeah, that little boy been abused. That's the only man he know right there. He ain't got no kids, no wife, all this money, talk sweet. You can see the sweetness in him. And the boy been touched. And I think that's what his mom was trying to prevent from happening. But Puffy knew, I can get the boy. I just got to get you out of the way. So, if Puffy just say you was addicted to kids, and that's not your son, so you ain't gonna have no problem with abusing somebody that's not your kid.
So to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, you're pretty much saying that you believe that Diddy molested Quincy?
At some point. But that if it look like a tree, probably a tree, It look like a dog and it barks. It's probably a dog. I don't know. So I'm just looking at the behavior of people. I'm 43, man. It's like he's not the first Quincy I met. You know what I'm saying? He's not the first Quincy I've seen.
Okay, guys, so you heard all of that. Okay, so let's jump into just a little bit of the specifics. If you guys don't know who Freddy P is, Freddy P was on Making the Band. What is Making the Band? Making the Band was a reality show that Diddy had back in the day where he was looking for talent such as R&B artists and rappers to form a group. Okay. And so Freddy P was one of those people in the group. If you see, Freddy P has been on Art of Dialogue quite a lot. He's very credible. He's very honest. He's very sincere. I don't get the same vibes from Chopper. I can't even lie. I feel like Chopper is like, I don't know if he's like chasing clout or he's down with Diddy. I don't know. But this guy, Freddy P, He's very smart, very well-versed. He himself had reservations with Diddy back in making the band. Before anything, he was telling Diddy, like, I ain't doing that. I'm from the hood, and where I'm from, I ain't scared of nobody, right? So he's very credible. So Freddy P goes on the Art of Dialogue and is talking about Diddy's alleged relationship with Quincy. Now, as you guys heard what he said, right? In correlation to what Kim said in the book, what do you guys feel about that correlation? Okay. Kim in the book is questioning if Quincy, her son, was ever allegedly groomed by Diddy. Okay, now we have Freddy P saying that he knows somebody that is close to Quincy, and he knows that Quincy could have allegedly been in a relationship with Diddy. And when I heard that, I'm telling you guys, like, my mouth dropped, because it adds credibility to the book, where Kim said one of the last lines where she felt like she couldn't do this shit anymore, allegedly, okay, was when she found out that he was doing things with little boys, allegedly. Okay? This was her dropping, like, this was her saying no more. Okay? Let's be honest. Even Gene Deal came to say it, but Gene Deal ain't saying it no more. But he used to say it in a lot of his interviews, where he would be like, Kim Porter was the original Cassie. Okay, now I just heard a interview from Gene Deal where he said that he felt like Kim found her power, right? And that he felt like that wasn't happening to Kim. Well, how do we know that, Gene? Could that have not been happening to Kim because she was struggling to try to keep that from happening, but he wouldn't allow it? She talks about freak-offs and the sex parties in this book. She talks about being forced to do it even while she was pregnant with the twins, okay? This is like the twin girls that we see now that are grown. So why is it that everything in this book is coming to light? Now, again, we don't know. This could be frivolous. This could not be the truth. This could be the farthest thing from the from the truth. It could all be made up. Who knows? But sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. And I find it very crazy that this is not the first person that has come out and said that Quincy is not riding with Diddy. And that he actually does believe that his mother in some way was hurt by him, but he can't do that and he has to support his siblings. Like, he's not the first person to come out and say that. There was actually a sex worker. Well, I'm sorry, I'm calling her a sex worker. She wasn't a sex worker. She was like a go-go dancer. I don't know if you guys remember her. I'm going to put her photo up here so you guys can see. But she had basically came out and said publicly that Quincy was a double agent. And of course, that was information that a lot of people didn't want to put out because they were scared that, Diddy could do something. So it was one of those things that went said, but nobody ever said anything about it. And the only reason why I'm saying something about it is as the trial is unfolding and people are telling their stories, I tend to remember Kim Porter. She spoke about waking up in makeshift hospitals in Diddy's house. She spoke about him physically abusing her. She spoke about the sex parties. She spoke about sexual energy, the stealing of sexual energy. She spoke about so many damning things in this book. And it's crazy to me how this stuff is coming into fruition. And it can't be just a coincidence, guys. It cannot. So I am going to continue to keep my foot on Diddy's neck because you know what? At the end of the day, someone has to be held accountable, and not these witnesses who are going up on the stand and who are trying to be outed for their sexuality or outed because they didn't say anything or outed because they were scared. Like, the people need to speak the truth. Okay, we need to speak the truth. This is what we're out here for. So you guys let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do another reading of Kim's book from beginning to end. I've already done it here on my channel, but I am happy to do it again so that we can point out a lot of the similarities that we are seeing that are transpiring in this case. I think her word, her book, it was her final wish to get out. Now, again, I'm going to say this just to make sure I'm covering my ass here. This is all alleged. We don't know if this could be true. This could be absolutely lies. But I just find it very strange that a lot of the things that she's saying in this book has come to fruition. Okay. And it is my belief that this book is not frivolous. So shout out to, like I said, Chris Todd, shout out to everybody who had anything to do with this book. This book is amazing. There is so much information in this book. Drop me down in the comments if you want me to do another reading. I actually did one on live. So if you go to the live section in my page, you'll be able to see it. But I could do another one because I felt like the live, it was like it wasn't giving, right? Because I feel like there was like a connection issue. So some of my words were dropping, but it's still a good read. It's a short book. It's only, I don't know, like I'm trying to do the pages right now. It's like 60 pages, okay? 59 to be exact. So you guys drop me down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with Freddy P? Do you guys agree with the fact that maybe Quincy was or still is a victim of Diddy? Like, what's going on here, guys? Like, this case is giving, like, I'm telling you, if he walks, like, I don't know if anybody is going to believe in the judicial system anymore if Diddy walks. Drop me in the comments. Let me know what you think. It's your girl, Zeta Lisa. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.
Cocktail hour, so pour it up.